And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And it's my pleasure to welcome our esteemed speaker, Janathan Selvaraj, to today's session. Janathan is a distinguished Microsoft AI MVP, Microsoft Certified Trainer Community Lead, and a 5X Microsoft Certified Trainer. And he's also recognized as a Microsoft Learn Expert, Senior Specialist at Evident, and an Evident AI expert. Beyond his professional achievements, he's an accomplished author, mentor, and respected global speaker. Today, he will be sharing the valuable insights on building trustworthy AI, which is said to be the practical approaches with Azure AI Foundry. So, this session promises to be enlightening and impactful given Jonathan's deep knowledge and extensive experience in the field. So we are truly honored to have him with us. So let's all give a warm welcome to Janathan Selvaraj, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jay Shurya and Pratap, for providing me the wonderful opportunity on the Microsoft AI Summit. Uh, the very most urging topic for today's AI Summit on building trustworthy AI, practical approaches with the Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. So, as part of this topic, we will be focusing on how this content safety service has been implemented while moderating the text, the image, multi-modal content, and how we are going to protect the prompt shield experiences. And finally, we'll move on to the monitoring activities of this Azure content safety with respect to trustworthy AI. So before let's get started. Let's talk about me. So I'm Janathan and Selva. I think already Surya has introduced me. And any questions related to Microsoft artificial intelligence, your Gen AI, agentic AI, feel free to reach out to me either in my LinkedIn handle or else in my YouTube handle. So I used to post videos related to the generative AI platform as well as the artificial intelligence platform related to Microsoft Azure. And you can see my playlist in the platform also. And I'm a Microsoft Learn expert. You can raise your questions or concerns or any doubts or clarification in the Microsoft Learn room as well. So my name of the Microsoft Learn is Microsoft Tech Talks. And let's get started. So today's discussion is about the Azure AI content safety, and under that we'll move on to the moderating the text content, moderating the image content, as well as how we are going to moderate the multi-modal content, and then we'll discuss the features of protected material deduction for text as well as protected material deduction for code that we'll be discussing. And finally, we'll talk about the how to monitor these activities with respect to Microsoft Azure AI content safety. Okay. So the very first service, the Azure AI content safety service. The Azure AI content safety service is a service which is used to detect both harmful as well as user generated content related to text, images, or even it could be a multi-modal content. Any content which are inappropriate, which are harmful, if you want to detect it, use your Microsoft content safety service. And if you see this content safety service, you can see there are 4 categories of content available in Azure platform. One is the content could be a safe content, the content could be a hate content, or the content could be a self-harm or else violence or a sexual content. These 4 contents, the Azure AI content safety, it is classified as a harmful content or else you can call it as inappropriate content. If such inappropriate content it has been detected, you need to provide the severity levels. When I say the severity level, we have 4 levels of severity. The severity level could be your low severity, high severity, medium severity, or very critical severity. So those severity levels will be assigned with a score. When I say 0, 0 stands for safe severity, and then 2 stands for your low, and 4 stands for medium, and 6 stands for the highest severity. So once the content, whatever user provided, the content safety API started classifying the content into 4 categories. After it is classified, you have to be provided the levels of safety levels, like whether it is a safe, whether it is a low severity, whether it is a medium severity, or it is a high severity. If it is a safe severity, the content response, it will say it is an allowed content. Or what will happen is, if any content other than the safe content, it will be termed as your blocked content. When I say blocked content, the content will be rejected by these 4 categories of these filters. So there are 3 major content safety APIs that are available as part of your Azure AI content safety. One is text detection API, image detection API, and the third one is a text blocklist management API. These are the APIs are part of your content safety services. When it comes to the text detection API, you will be able to moderate or scan the text related to sexual, hate, self-harm, or violence content. If such type of content is there, the text detection API is going to scan, and those content, it is going to be marked as unsafe content, or else you can call it as a harmful content. Similarly, whenever you want to moderate any image related content which falls under this 4 categories, we will be blocking those image content using image detection API mechanism. And the last one is your text blocklist management API. There may be some of the text in your document or in your code which is termed as block list. For example, hate, kill, your hit, or else your punch. Those words, if you want to block it, or these are the inappropriate words, in order to block this, we will be using the API known as text blocklist management API. So these 3 APIs, you are going to play a major role in your Azure AI content safety. So this is the content safety studio. Under this content safety studio, we will be moving through the moderating the text content, moderating the image content, multi-modal content, and we'll talk about how to monitor the online activity. So these features we are going to explore as part of the content safety studio. So there are 4 levels of severities: safe severity, low severity, medium severity, your high severity. Safe indicated as 0, low stands for 2, medium stands for 4, and 6 stands for high severity. And this is your severity levels: violence, self-harm, sexual, and hate. 4 severity levels are there, and we have respective uh, terms which are going to moderate the content is going to be safe or the content is going to be unsafe. So this is one of the best risk mitigation layers when it comes to the responsible AI of Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. And if you notice, there are 4 levels, 4 layers of your risk mitigation of responsible AI, or as you can call it as trustworthy AI. One is the model layer. The model layer is going to provide the right model for your respective use cases. Almost 1837 models are available in our model catalog of Microsoft Azure AI Foundry, and you have to choose the appropriate or the right model for your respective use cases. If your model you are not able to choose properly, what will happen is your evaluation, the safety consideration will go for a toss. So always it's best to choose your right model for your respective use cases. And the second layer we used to build as part of the trustworthy layer as concern is known as safety system. Safety system by default, it has the content filter version 2 safety system is inbuilt in your Azure AI Foundry. And that particular content safety V2 filter is going to monitor and it is going to protect the input as well as the responses going to be generated in terms of your generative AI models. which is your safety system. And the third layer of your trustworthy layer is your system messages known as meta prompt and the grounding. So when I say meta prompt and grounding, if I want to reduce the error or else mitigate your risk in your trustworthy AI, you have to use the approach or the architecture known as retriever augmented generation. Earlier, we used to call it as retriever augmented generation. Now that is a traditional one. The new or the modern approach we used to call it as, instead of saying it is retriever augmented generation, you can name it as retriever agent generation. So augmented will be in the traditional fashion, and then now the latest fashion, if I want to build any type of system autonomously, as well as if I want to make the behavior model behavior at a right place for the right use cases, agent will play a vital role, and agents AI services are available in your Azure AI Foundry as well. So using that, you will be able to ground your context with the help of your Azure agent service. Instead of your augmented generation, you can call it as agent generation. And the topmost layer is, which is a user experience. User has to design and user has to be provide a human centric approach or a human based tone while the prompt has been crafted in terms of the user experience layer is concerned. These four layers, which is going to help to build a trustworthy AI in our Azure AI Foundry. Previously, it is known as Azure AI Studio. So before we move on to the prerequisite, let me show you how we are going to build the Azure AI content safety services. In order to build Azure AI content safety services, we need to go to the Microsoft Azure platform. You just search for the service name content safety. The content safety is going to be deprecated by 2026. Later on that, the content, instead of content safety service, there is a new service they have launched known as content understanding. So content understanding will be the next upcoming services. That particular services will be launched by 2026. That is one of the tip I will be providing it. So now if I notice that, I'll say content safety service. Just click this content safety service. So we are going to create a content safety service resource. I have already provisioned it. I'll tell you how to provision the content safety resource. Let's hit the create button. So once the create button we hit, the very first details we need to provide it a subscription details, and then we will be creating a resource group. I'm creating a new resource group which is known as DevRG is my resource group. And which region you want to deploy the content safety services. I'm going to deploy it in the East US region. Check for the regions, whichever the content safety service we may be able to deploy. Then provide a name of the content safety service. I'll say insurance content demo. This is my name of the resource I'm going to create it. And what is the pricing tier we are going to deploy this? So let me deploy in a standard tier. Then you hit the review plus create button. This is going to check the validation of the background. It will take hardly a 1 minute time to make the validation checking. Once the validation checking has been passed, the create button will be enabled. I'm going to hit the create button. The deployment is started initializing it. This initializing phase of deployment will become a submitting phase of deployment, and this will take a minute or two to make this resource deployment to be successful. Now it is started submitting the deployment, and you will be getting a message in a minute known as deployment in progress. Let it go for some time. So this will take a minute or two to make this deployment successful. So now the deployment is completed. You go to the resource. Ensures that you need to go to the access control. You need to add your respective roles and permissions for your content safety. Then only you'll be able to access your content safety studio in your Azure AI Foundry. So what I will do now, I have already created the service, and you have to go to this your resource provision. Once the resource has been provisioned, you just redirect to the Content Safety Studio. When you click this, it is going to be navigated to the Content Safety Studio in a separate window. Or else still, if you want to see this Content Safety Studio in your Azure AI Foundry, that is also possible to notice that. So, what are the services, as I mentioned, and what are the capabilities we are going to discuss? Is we are going to moderate the text content. In order to moderate the text content, we will play with various scenarios. The content related to safe, the content related to violent, the content related to multiple risk categories, as well as multiple languages. So let's see the content safety with respect to safe one. Look at the prompt. Chopping tomatoes and cutting them into cubes or edges are the great ways to practice your knife skill. So if you notice this particular prompt, this prompt seems to be a safe content. If you start hitting the run test in the view results section, the content response, it says it is an allowed content. And I say it is an allowed content. Look at the severity levels of the severity categories. All are safe severity level. And in judgment stays, it is an allowed content. So let me show you one more use cases, how to check the violence content. You can see here there is a violence content. There will be a misspellings that are available. Look at the tissue spelling wrong, the bleeding spelling is wrong, and the injection name is wrong. So if you notice this, this content, is it going to be an allowed content or it is going to be a rejected content? In the sense it is going to be a rejected and this content has been blocked. Why this particular content has been blocked? In the sense it is having a filter known as violence category. It has been rejected and the respective content has been blocked, and you can notice the judgment as well. Same way, the beauty of this content safety, the content safety, you can have a safety systems in multiple categories as well. And I say multiple categories in one particular prompt. Here, this prompt is the best example. A 51-year-old man was found dead in his car. There were blood stains on the dashboard and the window screen. At autopsy, a deep oblique, long incist injury was found on the front of the neck. It turns out that he died by suicide. If you keenly observe this particular prompt, this prompt, it is having a multiple risk categories. One is related to self-harm, the another one is related to violence. Even though if you execute this particular test, in the view result section, it will say this particular content has been blocked. Why it has been blocked? It has because of this filter rejection. This was blocked. And you can see violence is judgment was blocked and a self-harm judgment was blocked. Same way, you can also observe the content safety service is have a multilingual facility or feature available. You can deploy in English, French, Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese. So close to 8 multilingual languages your content safety studio is supported. So here, painfully twist his arm and punch them in the face, and again it is your French. And if you execute this particular test, it says again it is a rejected content because of violence. So this is about a very simple test related to moderating your text content. But in real time, you may be having data. It may be an Excel sheet or it could be in your CSV file. In order to execute such type of interventions, you will be using a bulk test. Okay. Let me show you the bulk test. You can upload your own file, or else I'm having an existing file from the library. I'm going to use that. So this is talks about the data set with the safe content. So and I'm not having a one particular prompt. I'm having a few set of prompts which are there in the CSV file. And look at the label. Label 0 stands for it is a safe content. Okay. If you start executing this run test, this time you are going to get a percentage number of results like allowed at percentage or a blocked percentage. Along with that, you have few more metrics is available. So here, all the labels are 0, which means it is 100% allowed. There is no problem in this data set. Why it is a blocked percentage 0 in a sense? We don't have any label marked as 1. Because blocked as 0%, you cannot predict this precision recall as well as F1 score. What does this precision metric says about? At least one of the record is found harmful, then only precision recall will be available. So F1 score is your precision divided by your recall score. So that's what the F1 score is, also not a number, NAN. And again, the best part of this beauty it is you can download this as a CSV file here also, and you can see the CSV file implementation line by line, prompt check whether this particular prompt has been allowed at a prompt, or the prompt has been blocked a prompt. So those things will be available in the general judgment category filter. Same way, if I want to execute this as in a multiple risk category, then obviously your label one will be there. One indicates it is unsafe prompt, and zero indicates it is a safe prompt. So let me execute this run test again, and you can see that result. This time you will be getting the blocked percentage, since your label for some of the prompt indicates one. So wait for the results, because it is now analyzing it and it will detect, and finally the results will be executed in your view result section. So here you can notice he allowed it at 74 percentage and blocked at 26 percentage, and we got all the metrics as result as well. Same way you can download this. So this is a way in order to moderate the text content. So similarly, if I want to monitor the text content in an online activity, how we are going to monitor this online activity? Just go to your monitor online activity. In the monitor online activity, what is the API type I have chosen? It is analyze text, because text content moderation, I'm going to moderate it. As a developer, as a responsible AI administrator, what I will be doing is I'll be monitoring this type of content in a monitoring part. So the very first window talks about API request traffic. So I have taken the data for the past 7 days, and you can take it for 24 hours or 30 days or even custom number of days. And look at the response latency in milliseconds for the past 7 days. And severity distribution by category, violence is this much, hate is this much, sexual self-harm for the past 7 days. Rejection rate, you can notice that. And um, respective risk categories distribution, like violence severity rate distribution, this one is hate distribution, self-harm distribution. Okay. And block list content also. For example, so when you go for your content safety for the text content, say example, what I will do, there is something called as use block list. So what I will do now, I'm going to create a block list. I have created already a block list. Just type, I approve the block list name, and then create it and add the words. So what is the block list I have already created is restrict terms block list I have created like this. If these terms and are found like suicide, dead, die, kill, then block list term will be automatically detected. Example, if I execute this, you can see there is something called dead is there. So for such type of things, your content management block list will be opened in this API. So this is has been blocked because of this terms. What are terms? It is block list reduction, dead, and suicide. So this terms where you can monitor, you can go here like monitor online activity, and you can check this now. So what are the data blocked list for this today? It is your dead and suicide. Okay. So you can see that it will be in the block list reduction. Same way, you can monitor the image content as well. Before we monitor, let's moderate the image content. So I'm going to moderate the image content as part of the responsible AI policy of privacy and security policy of Microsoft Azure. All the images are blurred by default. Okay. If I unblur this image, look at this content. This content has been unallowed content. You hit this, this will be allowed. And you'll be getting the allowed percentage, all are safe content. Then what about this type of content? Well, let be unallowed content. It is again, it is self-harm content. Okay. So this content will be blocked. Okay, it is self harm and it is been blocked for image content. Same way, if I want to execute any bulk test, you can execute a bulk test as well. So here in this bulk test, if you see this, the data set with the safe content. So you may have a list of images and the respective labels. All the labels are zero by nature. Why? In the sense, all are safe content. So if you see, all these contents are safe. Okay. So I'm having the content with a list of labels zero and the respective images has been found. If you hit this, you'll be getting the allowed percentage only, blocked percentage will be zero. Okay. So this is for which content in a sense? This is for your image content. Okay. Same way, if you are having a data set with a multiple risk categories of images, you can also observe there will be a set of images and the labels will be zero, some of the label will be one, like that. So obviously, if you execute this particular test, you will be getting an allowed percentage followed by your blocked percentage. So both allotted percentage and blocked percentage will be available for this. Then if you want to monitor that online activity, just go to monitor online activity. But this time, instead of the API type as analyze text, let me change it as analyze image. And you can choose the data whether you want 24 hours or 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, or custom number of days. You can choose it. So again, you have a API request traffic for the past 7 days and response latencies, and also the severity distribution by category, rejection rate. So the rest of the categories will be available, like self-harm category, violence category, self, like that. 4 categories will be displayed in the monitor online activity. In the same manner, you can moderate your multi-model content as well. So as part of the multi-model content as concern, this particular multi-model content is now still in the preview mode. It's not in the general available mode. So you can see image followed by the text-based content. Okay, there is an image and you have a text as well. So that is nothing but a multi-model. If you execute this, you can see the result, whether the content has been an allowed content or the content has been rejected content. This is allowed content. But what about this one? It is an harmful meme with the text. Kill them before they kill you. This is a harmful content, and an image is also there. And this will be let us see the results of this. So it is a blocked content because of violence category. Same way, you can see an harmful image with the text. Okay, there's a harmful image. And look at the text. Okay. If you execute this particular thing, there is your multi-model content. Let's say as a block and it is a self-harm. Likewise, this multi-model content also, you can monitor that in online activity. You just change it to multi-model. You can see the multi-model still in the preview section. Okay. Because still it is not at general available, you may not able to execute the multi-model online activity here. So we have to wait for that option. Same way, let's see, there is one more thing known as protected material for text. Okay. So some of the content like recipes, your music lyrics, or proprietary content. Okay. You cannot use such type of content in your text moderation or else any type of application you start building under your generative AI platform. So look at this as a protected material lyrics. And if you execute this, it will simply say there is a protected material deduction for text has been detected. Okay. You're not supposed to use this. Same way, if you are having any recipes that are copyrighted or licensed, so those type of recipes also not you're not supposed to use when it comes to your protected recipes in terms of your content safety studio as concerned. Again, it says protected material for text has been detected. So this is not only applicable for the text, images, or a multi-model. It is also available for your code as well. So as of now, this code is in preview mode. So some of them maybe use the code in the GitHub as a license, like MID license or no assertion license. So example, look at this code. I'm having a code in the data structure in the C code. If I execute this, whether this code is already protected or it is not protected. You can see this code is protected, and this particular code is available in 9 GitHub repos attached with one licenses. So what was the license it was detected? It is giving us, and followed by which of the GitHub repos it was detected. So that also given. So likewise, you can see a non-protected code also. If I execute this non-protected code, this may not be available in any of the GitHub code repositories. So no protected material code has been detected. Okay. Same way, you may be having multiple licenses type for your respective code. Here you can see one license was no assumption license, and this is available in one GitHub repo. So I'll show multiple licenses. One example is there. Hmm. So you can see 7 GitHub repos. This code has been detected, and it has 2 attached license, MIT license and no assertion license. So the content safety is now also available for not only for the protected material for text, it is also available protected material for code as well. So other than that, the very important unified experience framework, which is known as prompt shield. Under prompt shield, you may be having direct attack, or else you may be having indirect attack. Direct attack is a jailbreak attack, and indirect attack is a user system messages attack. So we are going to see that also. So two types of attacks you can see in the prompt shield. Prompt shield provides a unified AI that is going to address both your jailbreak attack as well as it is going to address your indirect attack. So let's take an example of indirect attack as well as direct attack. So in this code, there is a user prompt. User prompt says that you are going to pretend to be DAN. DAN stands for do anything now. So this is the content related to a user prompt, and this is the content related to a document where it is going to be an indirectly attack. If you start executing this test, it will say jailbreak were detected not only in the user prompt, it is also detected in the document prompt. When I say document prompt, it is an indirect attack. So there's a combination of both jailbreak and indirect attack. If you want to see only your jailbreak attack, let's see the jailbreak attack alone. So in that case, the document will not be an empty. There is no section of the document messages. You have only user prompt messages. So this is direct jailbreak attack. Okay. So in future, when you start handling such type of messages like a direct attack, indirect attack, you need a framework to detect and to block such type of attacks. For that, you have to use prompt shield. Okay. So as of now, we completely discussed about what are the different services, different capabilities we have explored under a content safety studio. If you want to use this particular content safety studio in your code platform or code deployment, you need a certain prerequisite. One is you require a Python library, you need a Azure subscription followed by the Azure AI content safety resources. Then this particular package you are supposed to install with the help of the command called as pip install Azure AI content safety. Then these are the steps for creating a text moderation in your Python based API deployment. The very first step, you install the packages, get the keys and endpoint from the Azure portal, and you need to use the API known as content safety API. Under the content safety API, you will be using the class known as analyze the text option class, then pass your prompt message, and you define your try catch block, and finally you'll be printing the severity results. So let's execute this code in our Visual Studio Code. So this is a Visual Studio Code. What I have done is I have taken I have already installed the library which is known as Azure AI Content Safety. Then afterwards, here I defined a function known as analyze text. In under this analyze text, I have passed the key as well as endpoint. Here I directly given the key and endpoint. If you want to pass this key in your key vault, you can do in your Microsoft Azure portal itself. Afterwards, we have created a content safety client. Inside the content safety client, we passed an endpoint followed by the key, and we start constructing the request. How to construct a request? With the help of the class known as analyze text option class. You pass your message prompt. So example, what I will do now, I'll take this message, I'll go to the text moderation. I will take this prompt, this one. So I'll give this prompt here. Okay. Then in the try catch block, I call the analyze text option and we pass a request as an object. And in the catch block, we are printing the error code and the error message. And whether it is a hate or else your self-harm, sexual violence result, we were constructing using a collection-based methods. Okay. And we used the if functionality to print the severity levels. And in the main method, we are calling the function known as analyze text. So what I'll do, I'm going to execute this code now. Python. The name of the file name is sample1.py. So this time you will be getting a self harm as well as your violence. Okay. So self harm severity and violence severity will be printed for this execution. Let's see this. Hmm. You can see self harm severity it is 4, your violence severity is also 4. So let's try with one example with safe prompt. Meaning is all the values should be 0. If all the values should be 0, then I have to try with the safe prompt. I'll try with all the values 0. So you can see all are 0. All are 0 in the sense it's a safe prompt. Same way we can try this example with image as well. So what we will do now, where is that? Here I'll comment this. I'll comment the text part. I'm going to comment it. For the image, there is a few change only, not more than that. So for image, what is the changes? Instead of the prompt, we need to pass the image path. That's it. And for image, what are the changes we are going to do is, so how to create a text to moderations for images. Same package, keys and endpoint same content safety client. So instead of analyze text options, we are going to analyze image options. Same try catch block, severity results, and main function, nothing is changed. Only change is fourth step. Okay, so what I'll do, go to the fourth step. So instead of your analyze text options, we are going to analyze image options. You have to pass the image path. Okay. So image path is given. No, so remaining code is same. So what is the image I given as image.jpg? See the image.jpg. This is your image.jpg. Okay. Let's see whether it is what type of severity. Okay. It is a violent severity or self harm. Let's check it out. Just a second. It's just. Just I'm aligning the indentation. Yes. Still it is there. Just a second. I will take my GitHub code. Just taking time. So I just indented my code. If you see this, you have the key endpoint, and we are given the image path as image.jpg, and then nothing else changed. Same code is same. Okay. So likewise, we can do the images. Okay. So finally, under this content safety use cases, So where and all you can use content safety is you can use in the online marketplaces, your gaming sector, social messaging platforms, your education solution providers, enterprise media companies. So if you notice in the online marketplaces, if I want to moderate any product catalog or else any user generated content, you can use your content safety. And for the gaming companies, you can moderate any chat rooms or else gaming artifact, you can use content safety. And similarly, if I want to moderate any images based messages or text based messages for social media platform, and in the education sector, especially, you are going to check whether any of the content for the students or else for the candidates inappropriate, we will remove with the help of content safety. And this is your content safety pricing model, like a free and standard. For free one, it is 5,000 text records per month is free. For images, it is 5,000 images per month is free. This standard one is $0.38 per 1,000 records. Again, for per 1,000 images, it is $0.75. This is a content safety pricing. Okay. So that's it. Jay, over to you for questions.
Yeah, yes, Jana. So yeah, it was really, really wonderful session. So I don't see any questions over here. So I
Okay.
have some questions related to this trustworthy AI. See, I mean, so we have like a lot of. I mean, we have responsible AI features, and we have. I mean, we are using different platforms, right? One second. I think my cam is okay. No problem. Done. So we are using different platforms, right? Google and AWS and Azure platform, right? So compared to these things, so can you please let me know? So I mean, I mean, which one is better to use for the like business requirement purpose and also can you please let me know, sir? I mean, so I mean, I just my curiosity to ask you this question, which one is good enough? Yeah.
Just okay. So if you notice, if you ask me,
Yeah.
trustworthy AI is not nothing, is nothing but your responsible AI only. Okay.
Okay.
The name
Mm.
was changes trustworthy AI, and you have a certain principles we are following in terms of responsible AI governance principles. Like you have to map your respective risk with the help of your RAG model and operate
Mm-hmm.
what level of compliance policy you are using in your organization. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that, responsible AI gives you the best results in terms of safety evaluations and in terms of mitigating your risk management also. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And performance wise, this is best in terms of benchmark.
Yeah, and so I remember one thing, see, I mean, I don't know, like whether I used to these words and like, see,
Mhm.
recently, I mean, you know, right, Divya Akula is one of the like a responsible MVP, right? She used to create one, I mean, so she used one prompt. So this Gemini model is used to, I mean, scold her in a different, I mean, like a foul language. Okay, this symbol used for this language and all. The same way we use the she used the same prompt in Copilot or something, but it was really good. It is work for the responsibility for things and so that's where we felt very happy about our Microsoft products and all compared to different things. So can you please let me know so why it is happening and all sometimes and all?
See, the model has to be matured first. Whatever you put it and whatever you're being asking, you need to have an enough
Mm,
training data. Okay, if the training data was
okay.
not there, then you maybe ended up with the wrong results only. So
Yeah.
recommendation, responsible AI will detect all those inappropriate content or there's any content which is unethical, it will remove it.
Mhm. Okay, understand. Yeah, it was really. I mean, so even though I mean, so whenever, I mean, the people are crazy, like they do some different prompts, and so whatever you mentioned that the model has to be mature, then only it will try to give you the responses properly.
That's it.
Yeah. So it was, it was a great meeting with you, and I mean, wonderful insight, Janardhan. So thank you so much for your insight.
Thank
So
you
looking
so much.
forward to meeting you and looking forward to your insights, some other sessions, Janardhan. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you so much for everyone for watching me on this. Thank you so much.